So, had a very cool moment right before Christmas. And you ever have one of those days where you're just like, you have to get it out, like you need to just get it out of you and share with somebody. So here's what that is. So a couple of weeks ago, we did Level Up in Alaska, which was awesome. Devin and her team did a great job putting that on. And what was so cool was a couple days later, I actually found this in the back of our rental car. So in the back of our rental car, I found my son's Be Your Own Hero heroic life planner. So my son, who's 11 or 13, sorry, came to the class and did this day with me. And here's what was incredible. Man, I got so much out of this, right? Like out of reading. Don't tell him I read it. He doesn't have Facebook, so he won't find this for at least a day or two. But I was looking around the back seat and I found this planner it's all filled out. So I start thumbing through it to see what they wrote here. And here's a couple of things that stood out to me. One of the big things that stood out to me was I sometimes underestimate like the depth and the brilliance of my kids, right? Do y'all do that? Like I underestimate like the depth and the brilliance that they have within them and how deep they think sometimes, right? You just go, hey, because they're 9, 11, 13, whatever it is. We forget how much we thought and how much was going on in our lives sometimes the older we get. The second thing was I realized he did in that one day did more planning than most people, most adults ever do. And what was cool is he has more insight into goal planning than most people do. Most people don't fail because they aren't motivated or they're stupid or they don't want it. They fail because oftentimes, and there's several reasons, but one of the big reasons they fail is because they don't have the right tools. They don't have the right tools and stuff in front of them to really succeed. Stacy would probably agree with me, right? And looking at this, and we get stuck. One of the reasons we fail is because we get stuck. We call it the cycle of the 3 S's, right? You get stuck in the cycle of you get stuck, then you settle, and then you self-sabotage. And we see that happen I see that happen in adults over and over and over. The third thing I got was he's going to be okay. Like he's going to succeed despite all of my shortcomings. And I'm just incredibly proud of him. The fourth thing that I got was he does have the ability to see the future, right? Like one of the things that we did in this is he wrote down his goals, and then at the end of the day, one of the things that we do is we have them write a letter. We have them write a letter a year from now, and part of his letter is, hey, a year from now, because I worked so hard to get into the certain school, now I'm able to take these classes, I saved some money from this work, and he goes on to all the things he's been able to do, better relationships, etc., which was awesome. Then, here's where it got really incredible. Then, along with everybody else in the class, he wrote the tough letter. And the tough letter says, because I didn't work hard, I didn't get into the school, I truly regret my choices. Because I was lazy, I didn't know what I needed to do. My family's disappointed. I'm disappointed in me. The last line is so powerful. It gives me so much hope and it breaks my heart all at the same time. I wish I could go back a year to fix everything now. What massive insight, right? From a kid. Here's what I realized. He recognizes 3 things. First, he recognizes it's going to take hard work. He recognizes he has 2 different options. He recognizes that it's going to affect others. And so here's what I wanted to share with you. Most people have given up, right? Especially this time of year. We start thinking about goals and everything else. Most people have given up on New Year's resolutions and goals. At the end of the day, it's not because they didn't believe that life could be better. It's because for a lot of them, they stopped believing in themselves. They stopped believing in themselves and they've bought into stuff, and they say stuff like this. Life, just is what it is, or life isn't supposed to be fun, or I'm adulting, or this is what being a grown-up is, whatever it is. The reality is all of those are one-liners used as excuses to live an ordinary life. Have you heard yourself using one-liners as an excuse to live an ordinary life? Life isn't supposed to be fun, right? It's not meant to be this way. I'm adulting. Y'all, I am here to provoke that. Consider this. We do. Sometimes we get stuck. And when we get stuck, think about like on the losing weight journey or growing your business journey, or right, starting a brokerage journey, whatever it is, we get stuck. And if we get stuck long enough, we begin to settle. We begin to go, you know what, it's okay. I wasn't really that overweight in the first place, right? Or you know what, I'm not meant to build a big business. Or you know what I'm making is fine. We get stuck, we settle, then we begin to self-sabotage and justify where we are. That's when it gets really, really dangerous. Here's what I want you to consider, these 3 things. Write these down, see if these resonate with you, and then reach out to me if you want to have a conversation about this. Because this year is my year to ignite a fire in you. My year to start a riot in your life to go for great. So here's the 3 things I want you to consider. 1, you're more powerful than you give yourself credit for. Think about times in your life when you had to figure something out, you did. Think about the day before you go on vacation, how amazing you are at time and self-management, right? I want you to acknowledge you are more powerful than you give yourself credit for. And by not giving yourself the credit of how powerful you are, you're actually kind of creating the excuse to be where you are. Because if you were that powerful, you'd have to do something about it, right? So number 1, you're more powerful than you give yourself credit for. Number 2, age is bullshit. I don't care what age you're at, right? Most people start having this mentality that life is over. It's not over. It's not over. Right? Go Google how many people have succeeded that they started really living their best life ever at 40, 50, 70, 80 years old. Look at how many people have had success starting right after 70 years old. It's huge. Stop acting like you're dead before you're dead. This is not the trial run. This is the real deal. The 3rd thing is this. This is the tough one. The tough one is you have options. You have options. It's difficult to acknowledge we have options, really awesome options actually, but it does mean we have to do the hard work. It does mean we have to face some criticism and make tough choices. The power will come when you do this. The power will come when you stop using technology to numb and hide. The power will come when you stop blaming others for where you are. And you acknowledge, for me, it was acknowledge I won't make others happy. If I say yes to something, I'm saying yes to something, I'm saying no to something else. The laundry will never be done, right? Like, you've got to acknowledge some truths, but stop blaming for others where you are. You have to decide to really live your life. 3rd thing, 4th thing, wherever we're at, is this. You've got to acknowledge that I need to start now where I am with what I have. You can't wait. If you're stuck, if you're settled, if you're self-sabotaging, reach out to someone, to a coach, to me, to someone else who will give you a hand up, a hug, and then a kick in the butt if that's what you need, right? They'll know which one of those 3 you need or a combination, right? You've got to start now. You got to start where you are, and you got to start with what you have. When I looked at my life and I let the snow and the snow globe settle, I realized that I had to make some changes. I realized I had to make some tough decisions. I had to change my job. I had to adjust some of my friend groups. I had to say no. I had to let go of making others happy. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying it's worth it. This next year will not be the easiest year of your life. It won't. It's not going to be the easiest year of your life. It could be the greatest year of your life. And I believe that it will start by you acknowledging you have more power than you give yourself credit for. Acknowledging life is not over. I'm just getting started. Acknowledging you have options. And making some tough decisions to live the life you want to live. The life that lights you up. Don't settle for a year that isn't incredible. Don't settle for a year you want to write home and tell your kids about. Don't settle for a year that you wouldn't want to go, man, you would not believe what my 2022 was. Holy cow, yeah, there were some struggles, and it was incredible. Here's what I pushed through. Here's what I overcame. Here's what I created. Here's the thing that I didn't know how I was going to get through, and I got through. Your story starts right now. It starts where you are with what you have right now. And if my son can get clarity on where he wants to go and the pain of not getting there, you can do the same thing. I'm not here to be your hero. I'm here to help you be your own hero. That's your job. I'll help you. I love you. I care about you. I want you to have an incredible year. I want you to see your own greatness. And you've got to do the work. You got to make the hard decisions. Lean in, my friends. It's worth it. Go be your own hero.